Hi there, quilty friends. It's Carolina Moore, your favorite sewing and quilting YouTuber, and today we're doing day 10 of the Mini Quilt Advent. If your zippered pouch is looking a little sad, which is those 2 envelopes left for the next 2 days, I get it, which is part of why I added another 12 days. So we will be hopping in on that. But remember, those days will not be here on the YouTube channel. They will be hidden away, and you know how to find them. Or well, you will know how to find them on day 13, promise. Okay, so we are doing day 10. If you haven't opened your envelope, do that now because I'm getting ready to show you today's template. Let's get started. Okay, we're gonna peel off our masking on these templates because you're the very first one to get to play with your template. They're all brand stinking new. No fingerprints on these bad boys in packing because you get them fresh. So today's is a 2-inch equilateral triangle. We talked about before when we did the 2-inch diamond yesterday that the 6 inches cuts into 3 inches, and it also cuts into 2 inches, which gives us lots of options when we're putting pieces together. So we're doing the 2-inch triangle. Today's pattern also has us bring back the 6-inch equilateral triangle upside down. So we may need to remember that when we're cutting, if we're cutting directional fabrics with a 6-inch equilateral. We are going to use these fabrics. So this is what I'm going to use for my bottom. So this is my big 6-inch equilateral triangle on this fabric here, because I've used, I've used these 2 fabrics, but I also feel like I've used this one a lot, so I don't want to use it again. And this red will really pop, and I've only used it a couple times in a couple spots, so we're going to make this red pop. And then for the little 2-inch triangles at the top, we're going to use this one, as this is actually going to take the place of the dark green. And then we're going to do some fun fussy cuts out of this one for the light green. Okay, so we're going to put these out of the way and start with our big red piece. We don't need to fussy cut this one, but I always tend to fussy cut it anyway. I can't help myself in lining up these stars. No one will ever know. No one will notice that, oh my gosh, she fussy cut those. Nope, they won't. They won't even notice. That's fine. It's just for me. Okay. All right, we're going to call that lined up enough. And I am cutting a little bit past just to make sure that I get all those corners, but not too far past so that I can't use the fabric. And yet somehow I managed to not quite cut the beginning edge. Okay, that's fine. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be my bottom. Not my bottom, the bottom of my block. All right, now we're going to cut, this is going to be our dark green on our pattern. So we're going to cut, I think I said 4 of these earlier. No, we're cutting 6 of these. And because we're cutting a bunch, we can go ahead and fold this in half. We could do more than in half. We could maybe even do thirds and do 3 to do it. You know what? I'm really not using a ton of this fabric. And we only have 2 days left. So I've got plenty of fabric. So we're going to cut it in thirds and cut 3 at a time. Just to make the process go faster. The most fabric I really cut at once with a rotary cutter and ruler is 6 at a time, but that feels like a lot, especially when you're using tiny templates like this and apparently not cutting all the way through. All right, let me put that down and grab this little cut. There we go. Come here. Okay, so that's 3. We're going to try to cut this one a little better. I'm going to flip this one upside down just to try to make a little better use of that fabric. Okay, I thought I didn't quite cut this. There we go. All right, that one's done. Oh, cut off the edge there. There we go. Okay, so that is our 6 green, and now we need 3 fussy cuts for the middle. So these 3 are all pointing down, so the flat sides at the top. And I was thinking, okay, we already did this one. No, we did the roses. We did this one on the diamonds. We haven't done this one yet. Ooh, so maybe I do want to do this one. It's kind of perfect for an upside down triangle because I've got all 5 little flowers there. There's also this one. Let's take a look at that. Okay, that's really fun with the dresses. I think I like that one better. I could also do these little white flowers. I mean, that's pretty. I feel like it doesn't pop as much. So I'm going to do these. I'm not sure what flower that is. If you leave me a comment, let me know what flower you think that is, because I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to bring this down. So we've talked before about marking. I'm going to put the line right at the crook of the elbow on both those angels, and then center it down the middle as best I can. I think that's going to be good. And that'll give me reference points for when I line it up. But you can also use marking pens on your rulers to mark. A wet erase, a vis-a-vis marker is a great choice. Dry erase is tough because you're touching the template and you'll lose your marks. So yeah, dry erase is tough. Sharpie will also work with an alcohol wipe, but you want to test to make sure that you don't ruin your acrylic with a Sharpie. It should be okay, but there are lots of different kinds of acrylics out there, I've learned, and we want to make sure that if they're not all created equal, that we're not writing on one that should not get Sharpie on it. Okay, last one. Armpits, and then we'll get to lay this out and see if we like it. Center, armpits. There we go. I don't know if I got that one corner well, so let's hold. No, I did. Good. All right, so that's all of our cutting pieces. So we're gonna go ahead and lay this out. I have my 3 little florals like this, and then I have this would be that dark green on the pattern, but I didn't go with the colors that are on the pattern not because I know it makes somebody all crazy, although I know it makes somebody all crazy. Okay, and then this will be the bottom. Nope, that way. It's gonna be the bottom that way because I lined this up. Okay, now you can see that this is way wider than this is. It's supposed to be. All those seam allowances are gonna suck this up, suck it together. So on the pattern, I have this so that the rows are this, but the rows could also be this, this. And the rows could also be bottom, middle, top. So the rows can be any direction because these are triangles. The triangles let you go 3 different directions. But because on the pattern, I went with this, we're gonna keep it that way. So it's this, and then this one. Oop, what did I do? There we go. This one, and then that one, because I don't want to make you totally crazy. So these start out pretty easy because we're just going to put right sides together. And so we're just lining up the edges. All these edges line up perfectly on these triangles. It's those diamonds that are the stinkers with the points usually. And I could chain piece row 1 and row 2. I'm not going to, just because it's going to be so easy to mix them up. And I have some directional and some not directional. Okay, so this is row 1. Before we sew on the next one, I need to press it, because anytime you stitch over a seam, you need to make sure that seam gets pressed first. There we go. So that one's pressed. I'm going to double check it. Now I can sew this one on. I didn't cut off dog ears here because this dog ear right here is going to help me line everything up. This dog ear I could cut off, but if I'm not going to cut off one dog ear, I'm not going to cut off the other if it's not in my way yet. And I'll cut it off after I sew. Cutting off the threads before and after so we don't have any big thread chains. And then press. We're pressing open all our seams. You can see all the weird bulk that we get in here, and so pressing open is really going to help control that. I can cut off all these dog ears now. So I've got 1, 2, and this one's not going to be helpful, so I'll cut it off already. 3. And there we go. So we're going to keep going, sewing this one on, pressing, sewing this one on, pressing, and then doing the same with the shorter row. You probably don't need to hang out and watch me do every single part of that. So I will just come back when I have these all put together. Okay, so I have my 3 rows here made, and I'm going to sew these together. If you left your dog ears on these sides, great. You can use them to line up your edges. If you didn't, also fine, because you can use that method that we've used before with using the edge of your ruler to know where that 1/4 inch is to line these up. Here we go. So I'm sewing the rows, what I was calling this row 1, so 2 and 3. So I'm sewing rows 2 and 3 together first, just because it's less to put under my sewing machine. If I did rows 1 and 2 together, and then added on row 3, it would be more to fit under my sewing machine for no particular reason. These aren't big blocks, so it's not a big deal. If you go 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1, doesn't really matter. Now I don't need to press this one yet, so I'm not going to. I am going to put these together and sew this. And there are seams on both sides, so which side you have up is up to you, and you just want to watch to try to get those seams not to flippy on you. That needle looks like it's sunk in perfect on this side of those points coming together. We'll see how it comes on the other side. Lifting my presser foot up so my guide doesn't get caught on those dog ears. All right, we're going to cut the threads, and then we're going to peek at those points before I go cutting off all those dog ears. Okay, so this one is off, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. I'm going to leave it this time. I'm going to be fine with that. I'm choosing to just be fine with that. That's okay. Let's go ahead and cut off all these dog ears. You can cut them off now. You can cut them off after you press. I think it's a little easier before you press because they're a little more like open. I guess they're closed, but they're easier to get to because it's still closed up. And then we're still pressing open the whole time. Press open, press open, press open. And then we just have one more seam to put this block together. We're going to add on that big triangle. I did somewhat fussy cut it, so I want to make sure that I have that in the right direction. Basically what we've made here is one big triangle, and we're going to attach it to the other big triangle. So this is a 6-inch triangle, the other is a 6-inch triangle. 2 6-inch triangles together is going to make our finished 6-inch diamond. Okay. So I want to make sure that I have this the right direction, which is those little skirts were all pointing down. And that way it's all the same. And then this one, I had my stars down the middle. So I'm going to just put these right sides together, line up my edges, and sew this. threads. There we go. Those points look great. I'm gonna press this. All right, friends, as I'm finishing this up, I need to tell you that if you haven't already liked this video, this is your reminder, like the video. It lets YouTube know that I'm creating content that you enjoy. There we go. Okay. That is our block. Yes, it's a little bit off. Maybe that'll bug me. Maybe it won't. Maybe when I quilt it, I'll hide it in the quilting. We'll see. But we're going to choose to let this one just be a little bit imperfect. Block 10 of our Mini Quilt Advent. Friends, let's put this one up with the rest and see how it's looking. There we go. All right, friends, that's it for today. I will see you right here tomorrow for block 11. Until then.